My boyfriend tricked me into having sex with his twin brother. My boyfriend is the most obnoxious man I've ever met. We started dating 3 months ago. When I met him, I really wasn't into him at all. I met him through friends, and when we would all hang out, he was always the loudest one. He was always making the most inappropriate jokes and was always seeking attention from everyone else. I'm the complete opposite. I like to listen to people speak. I never raise my voice and I don't try to be obnoxiously loud. So I thought he was the biggest piece of shit when I met him. I couldn't relate at all to him. Then he came up to me at a party and started talking to me. That's when I found out that we had a lot of things in common. One of the things that we kept talking about was role playing. I'm into role playing, but I like to keep it safe. Whereas he likes to do some crazy stuff. He's into things like rape fantasies. I told him I was not interested in that, but we kept seeing each other through friends. Finally, after about a month, he asked me out on a date and I said yes. At this point, I knew that he was loud and obnoxious, but he was funny and made me laugh all the time. And I love a guy that can make me laugh. That's when he made his twin brother go to our first date as a joke. Obviously, I didn't even know he was a twin. So when this guy shows up to the restaurant, I'm like, oh hey. 15 minutes into the date, he starts laughing maniacally. That's when my real date comes out of the bathroom, and they both start pointing and laughing at me. That's when I understood what was going on. My real date sent his twin brother. Here's the thing, they look exactly the same. They even have the same moles in the same places, same exact haircut, and they even have the same tattoo on their necks. And they're both really hot. Their bodies are sculpted to a T, and their faces look like Greek gods. Finally, his brother left, and it was just me and my date. We hit it off and had a great time. Everything was really rushed though. A week later, he asked me to be his girlfriend and I didn't know what to say. He begged me for about 3 days. When I finally said yes, I told him that it was on a trial basis. That's when odd things started happening. He once again started sending his brother on dates with me. After I'd get home from a date, he would text me to say, how's my brother? I kept falling for it. I finally asked my boyfriend to stop sending his brother on dates with me. He said that it was just too funny and that they both thought it was hilarious. So I asked him if he was getting off on the idea of me and his brother together. Then he said, why? Would you like that? And I said, of course not. I like you, not your brother. Then he said, but we're exactly the same. Then he says, what if you already did it with my brother and you just don't know it? It actually took me a minute to think about it. I mean, how could I know? They both look exactly the same. At this point, I had given my boyfriend a key to my apartment. Big mistake. Later on that night, I'm dead asleep in bed. I hear my door open and I see that it's my boyfriend. Or at least who I thought was my boyfriend. He climbs into my bed and we have sex. I'm half asleep, but I was still open to it. The next morning, he's gone. I call my boyfriend and ask him why he left. Then he says, what are you talking about? I was never in your apartment. I literally could have shat my bed. Then he said, you actually fell for it? That wasn't me, that was my brother. That's when he asked me if I would be open to a relationship with the two of them. Apparently, his brother is obsessed with me. What should I do?
My ex divorced me and now wants to be together again after 4 years. I'm 46 female and my ex-husband is 45. We were college sweethearts and married at 26. Right before we got married, I gave birth to a beautiful daughter who's now 21 years old. I love them both dearly and we've been a happy family for about 16 years before everything went down. Our only problem was my ex's mother. She always had a strong dislike for me. She never thought I was good enough for her baby boy. We had many fights and my ex cut contact with her after the wedding when she tried to wear white to it. We had many encounters with her for years after that, sending us gifts for my daughter and purposely trying to get us to contact her again to seeing her outside our house. 4 years ago, I got home from work to see my ex and his mom together on the couch. My ex was on the verge of tears, yelling and calling me a cheater. I tried to explain that I didn't, but his mother supposedly had proof, saying she saw me with another man out in a restaurant together. I'm very faithful and loyal, but he refused to hear me out. We got into a big argument before he packed up and left to stay with his mother. When my daughter got home from a friend's house, she too started to blame me when she found out from her dad. She went to live with her dad while he sent out divorce papers. It took about a year before it was finalized. He got custody of her, and I was granted visitation rights, but she never wanted to see me. It took a long time to move on. I seeked therapy and fell into a huge depression. I knew my ex's mother made it up to tear us apart. I can't believe he listened to her so carelessly. I don't blame my daughter, but it still hurts. I moved out of my house to allow my ex and my daughter to live there. I ended up moving into a small apartment. It's been 4 years, and I started to finally be happy again. I made new friends. We had so much fun and I got a promotion at work. I still miss my family, my daughter, but I couldn't do anything about it. 2 days ago, my daughter called me. It's been 4 years since I've last seen or heard from her. She said that my ex's mother admitted to lying. She said that my ex got a new girlfriend and his mother was furious, claiming he shouldn't have one after all the trouble that she did to get rid of me. They got into a heated fight before he kicked his mom out. I nearly wanted to cry. I thought she would never admit to it. She asked me to meet and apologize so many times. I told her that we could meet tomorrow. Yesterday, I met her at a restaurant, but she brought along my ex, something she never mentioned, nor have I agreed upon. He was apologizing, saying how much he missed me and that he dumped his girlfriend. He wanted us to be together again. I excused myself and I left him there. I got back home to lots of phone calls from my daughter and text messages from her. She wanted us to talk, and she called me an a-hole for leaving. I told her that I wasn't comfortable and that she needed to understand. I had to mute my phone and put it down for a bit. I haven't responded yet. I'm not sure what to do. I love her, but I can't talk to her with him there. Not yet anyways. It feels so fast. I wanted to do it one-on-one. I'm deeply hurting, crying as I don't know what to do. 2 days ago, I texted my daughter to set some boundaries after the ambush attack at the restaurant. As we were talking, she mentioned new information about my ex and why he chose his mother's side over me. Earlier that morning, his mother confessed that she had paid an ex-friend of ours to lie directly to my ex-husband's face, claiming to be my affair partner. Mind you, I never cheated in the first place. My ex took that as solid evidence and divorced me because of it. His mother is a master manipulator and had him around her finger throughout his childhood, so I'm not surprised why he'd take her side. He didn't know that the confession was fake until a few days ago. I wasn't even aware of the entire thing for 4 years. No one had brought it up to me. My daughter gave me the silent treatment. My ex's mother obviously wouldn't tell a thing to me, and probably told my ex-husband to keep quiet and to only focus on the divorce. I'm still really saddened, but everything makes sense. I was so mad at him for leaving me over her word, but it was much more than that. Besides that, I decided to give my daughter another chance. She will not know where I live or any personal information to indicate where I am. I don't want her spreading it to her father or other people. I'll only show up during important events, graduation, weddings, etc. I know my ex-husband will also attend. I requested my daughter to put her father on the phone. He, of course, apologized so many times and hoped that we could have another chance as well. He said that he'd do anything to make it up to me and that he loves me. I said no. I explained that I was keeping him no contact and that I was heartbroken when he didn't communicate to me about the cheating allegations and only assumed. That I was practically homeless for a short time and needed to see a therapist to help move on. That I wanted to be left alone and not currently interested in relationships. Then, I gave him a new email in case of emergencies directly involving our daughter. Anything else, I'll discard. That was the only time I spoke to him in the past 2 days. I've been talking to my daughter, setting boundaries and whatnot. She gave me small updates about what was going on with her side. They went no contact with my ex's mother, so that's good. I told her never to contact that woman again. She also apologized for her behavior at the restaurant, and that it won't happen again. I understand that emotions were running high and everyone was tensed. I still really love her. Mistakes can happen. A lot of you said to sue my ex's mother. I spoke to my therapist about it earlier today. She said it wasn't wise to do so. It'll put more emotional distress on me and that I might have to see her again and may relapse into depressive state. I don't want anything to do with that woman ever again. All I want to do is focus on myself and on my daughter. Other than that, I'm taking a break. My daughter can text me anytime she wants, but I did say that I may not always reply since I want to remain low contact as of now.
Storytime about why my sister is probably worse than yours. So a little background information, my sister and I were both 16 and in our sophomore year of high school. And yes, my sister and I were twins, but we were the complete opposite. She was a girly girl and I was a tomboy. But the summer before our sophomore year, we both got grounded because we were driving my dad's car without our license and we wrecked it. So we ended up spending all summer together, which was very unusual because it was like her and I were acquaintances living in the same house. Well, over that summer, we got super close and she ended up turning me into a girly girl. She taught me how to take care of my skin, do my hair, do my makeup, and how to dress. Now, mind you, once we got into high school, she never spoke to me because I wasn't a part of the little clique that she was in. So she was like, yay, you can finally hang out with my friends and I'm super excited. So school starts, I end up becoming friends with all of her friends, and my sister's really good friends with this one boy. But she had always said that she never liked him like that. So she introduced us, him and I started talking, and we both ended up liking each other. So like I said, my sister and I start school, I become friends with her friends, and she introduces me to this guy that she's been best friends with for a while. Him and I end up talking, I really like him, he really likes me, and my sister would always hype me up. She would be like, oh my god, you should get with him, he's such a nice guy, you guys would look so great together. So the one night he asked me if I wanted to go on a date with him, and of course I said yes, so I ran to my sister's room, I was so excited to tell her. So I knock on her door, I go in, and I'm like, oh my gosh, guess what? She's like, what? I'm like, he asked me out on a date, and she just sits there and stares at me. And when I ask her what's wrong, she's like, oh my god, you knew that I liked him, you're such a bad sister, I would have never done this to you. So then I started to feel bad, but then I didn't because I remembered how she used to hype me up. So the next day, a few hours before my date, she comes in my room. She's like, hey, I'm really sorry about how I acted yesterday. I would love to help you get ready for your date if you'll let me. I feel so bad. And we're sisters, so of course I get over it, and I tell her yes, I want her to help me. So like I said, she asked me if I want help getting ready. I say yes. And my family's super Italian, so we have thick, dark hair that grows in everywhere. Like, I literally have a unibrow, and the peach fuzz that's above my lips looks like a mustache. So my sister's like, hey, do you want me to wax your face? And I say yes. And she definitely wasn't over the situation, and she wanted me to be in pain because I begged her to use this IPL device on me called U-Like, which was basically at-home laser hair removal, but safer, and it did not hurt at all. So my sister hasn't had to deal with hair in literally months. So I beg her to use U-Like on me, and she's like, no, either you can let me wax you or you're going on this date with a mustache. So of course I gave in to her waxing my face. We go grab my mom's wax, which has probably been sitting in her cupboard for literally 6 years. My sister puts it in the microwave, and then I lay down on the kitchen table, and she goes to put the wax on me. I already knew this was going to be painful. As soon as the wax touched my skin, I literally started screaming. And she was like, stop being a baby, and she put more on me. I knock the container over, it gets all over me. When I get to the hospital, I figure out that I have 3rd-degree burns, and my sister did it on purpose.
I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I am so fucking annoyed and cranky today, and it all starts with the man at the gym. This man at the gym comes up to me while I'm on the fucking machine, and I've been there for at least 5 minutes, okay? And he's like, I'm using this machine as I'm using it. So I looked at him and I said, how the fuck are you using the machine? Well, clearly I'm fucking using this machine. I didn't say that, okay? But I wish I did. I was just kind of more like, oh, okay. Why the fuck did he say he was using that machine when he wasn't using it? And then he went and was like bench pressing. So I was like, you weren't fucking using this machine. Today I had such a fun little video plan for you guys where I was going to be like, what would Livy do? And give like my real life, how the fuck I would act in a situation is what I wanted to say. I feel like if I made that video today of like, what would Livy do if she found her boyfriend cheating on her? Livy would throw him out a fucking window. Like, that's what I would do. I would be, and you guys would be like, why is she being so weirdly aggressive about this video? And it just wouldn't come across well whatsoever. But I'm just in such a cranky mood. But my day gets even weirder. As I'm walking home from the gym, already in like this bitchy mood that I'm in currently, I see a man wearing a mask. And it's like a creepy fucking mask. I feel like if it was a normal day, I'd be absolutely terrified. It was a clown mask and he was headed directly towards me. Normally I would be like freaking the fuck out. No, I was like, I hope a motherfucker tries me today. I hope he does. Like, why are you so starved for attention that you need to wear a clown mask in the middle of the day in New York City on the street? Like, why? I was ready to fight him. I don't know why, I just was. I know I sound like a ranty, annoying little bitch, but like, I can't be anything else right now. And you guys claim to love me like you say you do. You'll love every part of me. That's funny, Livy, and that's rude, fucking mean, Livy, and that's where I'm at right now. Why I think I'm in this mood, besides that dumb fucking man at the gym, it's because my sister and I got in, like, she just pissed me off this morning about my taxes. We were talking about my taxes, and I was like, well, I'm gonna TurboTax this bitch this year. Like, I always TurboTax it, so, like, I'm just gonna TurboTax it. And this is not a fucking ad for TurboTax, okay? Like, fuck you, TurboTax. Not actually, I just, like, I can't use you. My sister's like, you need to get an accountant that specializes in, like, what you do. And I go, you already know I want a financial advisor. And she goes, you know those are two different things, right? Like, no. I didn't fucking know. I don't know anything about finances, obviously. And she's like, oh my God, like, you don't know what an accountant is? Like, that's so embarrassing. I'm like, fuck off. Like, fuck off. Like, I've told you I've only TurboTaxed it. Like, I only understand what TurboTax is. And honestly, if I'm being so fucking honest, and I shouldn't say this, I don't even think I'm doing that correctly. I don't really understand anything about taxes. Like, I'm not proud of that. Like, I'm gonna hire the fucking accountant because, like, I don't know how to do them. Hearing my sister be like, oh my, you don't know what taxes, you don't know what an accountant is. I literally wanted to jump through the phone and punch her. So fighting with her about taxes, like, just really sent me over the edge today. I was like, I cannot keep doing this. Like, I'm so fucking angry, but like, I just want to cry. And I don't know why. I don't really have even a valid reason to fucking cry right now, okay? Because, like, the man at the gym is not an excuse to be bawling my eyes out. I am hiring an accountant, though, so if you're an accountant, hit me up, okay? After that phone call with my sister, I'm probably going to have to hire a financial advisor as well, okay? So just hit me up. I can't even imagine if I had to film a brand deal today. I would literally be like, buy fucking Maybelline, and I would send that to my managers, and they would be like, Olivia, take it back a notch. What the fuck was that? I'm just in a bitchy mood, and this is my truth, and this is my fucking truth. You already know I'm about to get my period, so this is definitely probably why I'm in like the worst mood ever. Let me know if I'm the only one that does this, because the whole time at the gym, I just kept thinking of things I would have said to that man if he approached me again. I would have been like, why don't you just shut the fuck up? You know, why don't you just shut the fuck up? This white eyeliner is going to give me a mental breakdown. I already fucking feel it coming. But to make myself feel better, I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do. I lied. I have no idea what I'm going to do. I'm going to drink my milk tea in the fridge, and I'm going to run around Soho. And Kylie really put her whole bodicious into this, okay? And I'll say that every damn day. My roommate is in like corporate meetings and I'm screaming about Kylie's bodicious. Like, what the fuck?
So when I was about 18 years old, my boy shouted at me. He's like, yo, Chop, I got a little 2-man step for us. He was telling me he got 2 hotel rooms, Hilton Hotel, nice thing, bougie. And he's saying he got 2 girls that are both friends coming over. I'm like, bro, you teasing me. You teasing, you naughty. So just thinking about the 2-man step was getting me excited, cuz I was like, bro, give me a date and a time, I'm there. So 2-2's nice about the evening time, and I go back my boy at the hotel. And the first thing I said to him when I got there was, bro, what do these girls look like? Show me what they look like, bro. Because if you watch the other story times, you know this brother set me up for failure, cuz. But he's out here telling me you don't have a picture of them. I'm thinking, mysterious. But I'm thinking, I've died for Nyash before, and I'm ready to die for Nyash again. This time, bro came prepared, bro. He already had the alcohol. We was ready to get litty. And I'm thinking, bro, I'm gonna lose my virginity today. But I can't lie you, man. I was hella nervous. Like I felt it when Eminem said, palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy. I just hope my penis don't go soft like spaghetti. You know them boy there, cuz? I need my thing to rise today, fam. 2-2s now, we have a little JD and Coke. But you see me, I'm getting bare anxious now. I'm thinking, rah, bro, I'm scared. I'm gonna lose my virginity. So I said, fuck the Coke, bro. I was back in this Jack Daniels down like no tomorrow. 2-2s now, 15 minutes past, and I'm coming like I have a speech impediment. Right now, I'm lickaroonied, and I'm feeling confident now, fam. I'm thinking, yeah. 2-2s now, these girls arrive. 2-2s now, my boy opens the door, and once again, I've been twanged. I've well and truly been misled. The first girl that walked through the door has the same body type as Tyson Fury, cuz. Like her body was looking like an upside down bowling pin, cuz. The body proportions were looking mad. As she walked into the room, I saw her butt crack hanging out, blood. You know them boy there, builders bum and that. I'm thinking, rah. I was thinking I ain't watched Sonic since I was a kid. But I'm pretty sure you're looking like Dr. Eggman, cuz. 2-2s now, her other friend walks in. Now this girl, she came looking like one crackhead, cuz. You know them nitties there that be like, wanna do some business? £10 sex, £5 sucky sucky. I'm thinking, bro, where the fuck did you find these girls? Like I'm raw thinking, bro, this ain't no homeless shelter, blood. So bro gave me the option between a zesty version of Tyson Fury and Nitty Nicola. Man, them, it wasn't looking good. The 2-2s now, we're all just drinking and chatting. And all of a sudden, my boy takes the Nitty Nicola to the other room he had. So he only done left me with a fat thing. And I'm thinking, listen, I'm here now. I'ma have to do the job. 2-2s now, she moves closer to me. And I can't lie, the music was on in the background. It was a romantic scene. But no, it's not romantic, because I'm with a fat thing. So 2-2s now, she goes in for the kiss. And I'm just sitting there like, man, them, I was stressed. And just before she went in for the kiss, she was vaping. So there was bare smoke in the air and that, blood. So I had to think on my feet. So she came in like, and I came out like, I was pretending that to wipe the smoke away, blood. You know them boy there, I said, listen babes, there's a smoke alarm there, let me get rid of this for you. You know them boy there. So I swerved that one still. So I'm just sitting on the bed, and this beast decides to get on top of me. So 2-2s now, she's sitting on my lap and I'm just sitting up. But I'm guessing she wanted me to lay down, bro, because she pushed me in the chest with force. Like, bro, she nearly gave me whiplash. Man was like, I was like, brother, you have to treat me with care and that. Be careful, you're big you. You're gonna break a 1-2 bone of man. I can't have that. 2-2s now, this bitch is laid on top of me. And she goes for the kiss again, blood. And I'm thinking, bro, there's no escaping now, blood. She's on top of me. I can't move. I'm stuck. So she comes in for the kiss again, like, so I did this on her nose. Boop. I can't lie, I had to drop some confusing wrist, blood. I don't know what I just did. I just boop on her nose, bro, but it stopped her in her tracks. It worked. 2-2s now, she starts off in her trousers. And I'm like, listen, this is more like it, blood. So now she lay back on the bed. So I manually took off the knickknacks. So 2-2s now, she opened her legs and I said, boy! That shit hit me like a Dorito heat wave, cuz. I'm thinking, boy, what the fuck you cooking up in there? A stew? Man, them, tell me how her pum-pum started radiating heat over my face. There's something seriously wrong with that pum-pum. But I thought, listen, let me give you the benefit of the doubt. Let me do a little finger test. So I slide the finger up in that bitch and I take it out. I do a little... Blood! I saw my life flash before my eyes. Listen, my face come like I just ate a whole bag of Tangfastics, blood. I'm thinking, ooh. And then I deeped. I wiped my fingers on my lip, bro. So all I could smell from my lip was this hot, tangy concoction, blood. I was there like... So 2-2s now, I deeped, bro. I'm gonna need a Johnny. But not 1, not 2, but 3. I'm thinking her pum has the ability to melt a couple condoms, blood. I need to triple up. And at this point, my Woodini was not trying to wise. 2-2s now, I slapped 3 Johnnies on my soft Woodini. Cause right now, I'm thinking, bro, watching midget porn would make my ting rise more than this bitch right now, cuz. So 2-2s now, I'm trying to stick it in while it's soft. I'm there trying to put it in for like 5 minutes, bro. This thing is not trying to go in. Cause at this point, there's more condom than my Woodini. So after a minute of trying, cuz, I feel it finally slide in. And she's like, it's in, it's in, it's in. And I'm like, bitch, I know it's in, it's in, it's in. That means I've lost my virginity. So now as soon as I feel it go in, I take it straight back out, blood. Job done. And I'm thinking, bro, luckily I did wear 3 condoms, cuz. Cause when I pulled it back out, tell me why I only had 1 condom left on my Woodini. I don't even know if she realised there's 2 condoms still in her pum-pum, blood. But I didn't care. I was out of there. And she was there like, is that it? And I was like, yes, that's it. I'm done, bro. I just wanted to get the number so I can get the ball rolling, blood. I was a 1 pump wonder, fam, but I don't care. I would rather go to the bathroom and finish myself, cuz. 2-2s now. My boy messaged me saying, you man done? I said, yeah, bro. Man's done still. Man done my thing. So my boy and his thing come back into our room. And my boy has no decorum, fam. As soon as he stepped in the room, he was like, fucking hell, blood. What is that stench? And we all just looked at the fat thing, cuz. And that was the end of that traumatizing experience.
Am I wrong for eating my husband's entire birthday cake by myself? I'll preface this by saying that my husband's family and I don't get along. Like, at all. We're rarely ever on good terms, and for my mental health, I decided to put distance between us. Especially after I was blamed for my most recent miscarriage that happened 3 months ago. My husband can still see them and visit them whenever he wants. For me, I don't attend any of their events, not even Thanksgiving nor Christmas. My husband's 30th birthday was 2 days ago. I planned to celebrate with him. I bought a cake and a gift, but he said that his family invited him to celebrate his birthday and he really wanted to go because the birthday parties his family throw are like no others. We had an argument over this, but he told me to wait for him till he finished celebrating there with his family, then we could celebrate together at home and eat a cake. After he left, I felt so terrible. I called him, but he turned his phone off. I was so mad I took the cake and brought it into the living room and started eating from it. I ate the whole thing, not saving him a single piece. Guess I was so angry and it made me hungry. He came home and saw what I did and blew up saying I did this to be spiteful and to punish him for not ditching his family on his birthday like I wanted him to. I reminded him that I paid for the cake, but he called me petty and nuts. He ranted and said that he didn't get to eat cake at his parents' house because a lot of kids were there and he didn't get enough cake, and what I did was 10 times worse. He's been upset with me ever since. So, am I wrong?
Am I the asshole for getting upset at my husband for not being home when he said he would be? I, female 24, am married to my husband, male 25. My husband has a bad habit of saying he will be home at a certain time and then being late. And this has caused a few arguments as he feels I don't have the right to be upset or at least have a valid point. Our last arguments over this, I thought I had finally gotten him to understand how much it hurts me when he was late by more than 45 minutes. It's New Year's Eve and we have a 14-month-old and he wants to go to his best friend's party. And I agree he can go, as I can't. I still have to take care of our daughter. We agree that he will leave for the party at 9:30, so we still get to see the small fireworks together. And he said he would be home around 2. I did let him know I was hoping he would be home sooner, but to have fun. I woke up at 2:45 and he is still not home and I have no message from him, so I called, but he did not answer. And I wait to see if he would call me back, but nope, nothing. So I send him a message asking if he is okay and if he has left yet. He calls me and I can instantly hear he has not left yet, so I try to stay calm as he tells me he will leave in 15 minutes and he will send a message when he is on his way home. I got his message, but it means that he won't be home until 4 a.m. and when he gets home, he will see I am upset and make me feel bad for it. So am I the asshole for feeling disrespected and hurt by his actions and decisions? Things to note. My husband does not drink but is very outgoing and sociable, and I am too, but I get peopled out a lot quicker. I am also 33 weeks pregnant with our second, and I know that I can be a bit hormonal due to this. I love your videos, and I hope you can let me know if I am on the ASCON scale or not.
Let me tell you about my day. Woke up this morning, first thought, dry skin. Second thought, I'm so lucky everything works out for me. I saw a video of 2 girls eating noodles who said that makes everything better. I go into the bathroom, put on my brand new body butter, something's wrong. It's not sinking into my skin, I pick it up, but because I'm so lucky and everything works out for me, I realize it's not a body butter that I purchased, but in fact something called a pre-cleansed shower butter that you're supposed to rinse off. That's okay, I'm so lucky everything works out for me. I'll become a morning shower person, even though I'm not. Well, it turns out I'm still not a morning shower person because the water isn't turning on. I'm so lucky everything works out for me. I forgot that today is the day that the water is turned off to my apartment between the hours of 7:30 a.m. and 3:30 p.m. And because I'm so lucky and everything works out, it's 7:33 a.m. That's okay. I have baby wipes. Because I'm so lucky and everything works out for me, I'm able to use those to get 95% of the butter off of my body. I go to work, I get through work because I'm so lucky and everything works out for me. I come home and the shower is working again. I rinse off. I decide to do a hydrogel lip mask because I'm so lucky and everything works out for me. I take a nap. The nap doesn't last very long though because my doorbell rings. That's right, I forgot that today was the day, because I'm so lucky and everything works out for me, that my very strong, very straight super was coming to do my annual apartment inspection. So I go racing to the door, throw a face mask on because safety first, open the door, go to speak, only to realize that because I'm so lucky and everything works out for me, the hydrogel lip mask is still placed on my lips underneath the mask, and I must reach under the mask, pull off the hydrogel lip mask in order to speak, and do all of this in front of my very strong, very straight super. And because I'm so lucky and everything works out for me, instead of just discreetly pulling it off, I decide I'm going to pull it off and explain to my super that I'm doing a hydrogel lip mask because this morning I covered my body in pre-cleansed shower butter and was not able to rinse off. So now I'm sitting in this tub. There was no water in this tub, just like this morning. And because I'm so lucky and everything works out for me, I am simply reflecting.
Okay, this is the story time of when my soon-to-be ex-husband first embarrassed me in front of his friends. So one thing that he liked to do, he liked to go out to his friend's house almost every single night. And if he wasn't at his friend's house, he was at his parents' or he was working. It was never really time for me and him. He would take me on a date maybe once a month, and that's really a big maybe. But either way, even when we went out, we would always end up after the date at his friend's house or at his parents'. It was never just like quality time for me and my husband. And a big thing with narcissists is they will control you to the point where you will cut off your friends so that they are your main source of social interaction. So one night in particular, he was going out to his friend's house, and I was like, hey, could you please not be out late? Like, I really want to just like eat dinner with you, just have like a night, just us. And he's like, why don't you just come with me? I didn't really want to because I always ended up super bored, and I was pregnant at the time, so it's not like I could just drink or whatever to pass the time. Like, no, I'm just sitting there in their living room just like playing on my phone for hours. But for some reason this time I was like, you know what, fine. And I was like, but still, could we leave like at a good time? And he was like, why don't we leave around like 8:39? And I was like, that sounds fine, sure. We had been there for maybe 2 hours at this point, like minimum 2 hours, and it's 8:30. I go outside. I'm like, hey, it's 8:30, like, are we gonna leave soon? And he's like, yeah, can we push it until 9? I'm so sorry, like, let's just push it a little bit more, because I did say 8:39, so maybe we could leave at 9. And I was like, you know what, fine. So it's 9. I go back outside, and I'm not making a big scene. Like, I'm just kind of like whispering it to him, like super casually, like, hey, just letting you know, like, the time, whatever. So he's starting to get mad at this point, because he's like, stop telling me what to do, even though he told me to remind him. And he's like, yeah, come back to me in a few minutes. I'm not ready to leave yet. So it's pushing 9:30 at this point. I go back outside, again, super casual, and I'm like, hey, babe, like, it's 9:30. I'm super hungry. Can we please leave soon? And he turns to me, and he goes, woman, stop nagging me. Stop trying to tell me what to do. I will leave when I'm ready to leave. You need to go back inside and be quiet. I am completely in shock, obviously. I immediately start crying because I'm so embarrassed. Nothing like this has ever happened before. His friends are in shock. They don't know what to do or what to say. So now I am just crying in these people's house because I can't stop. I'm like, I don't know what to do, and I'm so embarrassed. I'm apologizing to them, like, I'm so sorry this happened. I'm apologizing for this man for yelling at me and embarrassing me and embarrassing them. Like, now they're in like a weird situation too. And he just goes back outside with his friends and just hangs out for like another hour, and of course doesn't speak to me on the way home. And I tell him, you embarrassed me, and he's like, you embarrassed me for trying to tell me what to do in front of my friends. No.
Jewelers of Reddit, how often do people tearfully return engagement rings? I've been in this business for over 10 years, and I've sold enough engagement rings, and I really have no idea how many are out there at this point. Sooner or later, this is bound to happen. I've had it happen a few times, but here's the worst story. A couple comes in together. Let's call them Mike and Stephanie. Mike is ready to spend about $20,000, which is a lot of money for a young couple, and I'm showing them rings in that range. But Stephanie keeps pushing for more and more and more. Finally, with enough begging, pleading, smiles, and thinly veiled sexual promises, she talks him into a 3-carat center diamond with an elaborate setting for around $30,000. Honestly, I don't feel great about having to witness this whole exchange, but at the end of the day, it's none of my business, so I complete the transaction. About 3 weeks later, Stephanie comes to my office alone. I assume she needs the ring resized or something, but instead she asked me if I can remove the center diamond and replace it with a cubic zirconia, a very cheap diamond substitute. I'm surprised, so I stammer, sure, but why? Are you traveling or something and don't want to risk the stone? She responds that it's nothing like that, she just prefers to have the cubic zirconia in there for now. Obviously, every red flag in existence is waving in front of my eyes, and at this point I say, okay, and I take her ring. I tell her to come back in a day or two to pick up the ring with the cubic zirconia in it. But as soon as she's out of the door, I'm calling Mike. After all, he's the one who wrote me a $30,000 check, so he's my customer, not her. Mike picks up, and after a moment of small talk, I ask him if he knows what Stephanie is up to. No, is a shocked response. Mike called me back the next day and told me that apparently Stephanie was planning to call off the engagement and return the ring, but keep the 3-carat diamond. He was obviously very upset and asked me if I could give him a refund. I offered my sympathy and gave him back his money. Needless to say, he was very grateful that I had called him. About 2 years later, Mike came back with another woman who I liked much better. They're happily married with 2 kids now. Mike and I have become friends, and he's probably referred me to 10 plus other customers over the years. As for Stephanie, after she left my office that day, I never saw her again.